Sabrina from Campbell's Freedom Farm, and today we finally get to plant tomatoes. So basically the kind of tomatoes we're going to plant are the indeterminate tomato. What's an indeterminate tomato? For one, it's a perennial. You could bring it in. Second, it is the wild child of the tomatoes. It's the one that grows really tall or vines really far and basically produces fruit. Well, that's another topic. And basically of all different sizes and shapes. So I love that one. I think it's delicious. The other kind is the determinate, and it's not perennial. It comes and it's perfect for restaurants. It produces the same size of fruit, perfect, and then it dies. And that's great too, especially if you do a lot of sandwiches and stuff. But for us, we're doing the indeterminate. So the indeterminate, I'm going to plant in the dog-run greenhouse to keep the raccoon, which was already back, and the groundhog. But this is staked down, so that's not coming through. And I have a ground cover, and they don't mess with that. So I'm going to use the bamboo that we grow, and for our tomatoes, I put them pretty close because I'm going to let it grow tall. I rather have the quantity coming up. Now, out in different sections, I give them a whole space by itself, but let's see what happens. So the first thing you have to do is get your support. If you want it to grow up, come up with some type. Bamboo is wonderful. There's no chemicals on it. It's strong. And I also have all these branches. I don't cut these branches because the tomatoes kind of grow on them. It's perfect. You don't need all these strings growing everywhere. So I'm going to space them, I guess about every foot, maybe less than a foot. And then I'll tie them up top. So let me show you. All right. Cut the bamboo to the same length and leave a foot to go into the ground. And do not throw the tops away because you could use these for not pole beans, but the regular beans, bush beans. All right, the remaining bamboo I am cutting as long as the dog-run greenhouse or any garden area that you want. And I'm leaving a couple inches on both ends. This one I'm going to cut off all the little branches and put it in the location that you want and then tie it on each end. All right, on each node, which is almost equally spaced on my bamboo, you're going to tie another bamboo so it meets. And you're just going to tie it. Alright, my stakes are in, and mine will probably go up to here, which is 5-6 foot. I think this goes up to 8 foot. I'm in a shorter growing season, I guess a medium growing season, and mine will never get that tall. However, those that are interested, UK has a tomato plant that's 65 foot. Obviously it's indeterminate, which is a perennial. So I wonder how old it is. All right, next we have to get the soil ready. All right, let's talk about the soil. This is Stefan's new dog-run greenhouse or cage, whatever, for the garden. And it was really compacted soil. So what I did is I did a little trenching you don't have to do that. And Lowe's has their Sta Green flower vegetable garden soil for, I think it's 4 for $10, which is great. So I'm going to use that just a little bit. I mean, the roots will go deeper, but also remember, we have a mole. This cage will help with raccoons and possums and my groundhog, but not for the moles. So I am still planting all my stuff with crushed red pepper. So just sprinkle it in. Doesn't take much, I notice. I notice he's on a move after he got into some stuff. And then I'm just going to throw this soil in. Let me do that real quick. All right. The next thing is I'm going to use a fertilizer that's meant for tomatoes and vegetables. I use this for my tomatoes and my peppers. And so, can you see it? It's a 12-10-5 ratio. And so it needs certain things. Here, can you see it in here? You could actually see the different nitrogen, phosphorus, and all that. So I'm just going to sprinkle it in and just work it in. All right, the soil with the fertilizer. Now I'm just going to top dress it with a little compost all the way down. This will add nutrition as you water it. It leaches down into the soil. It's not used right away. All right, before you even plant them, do your markers so you know. Why is that important? I remember one year I planted a whole bunch of tomatoes and some were green ones, and I kept waiting for them to ripe. So this way you kind of get an idea. So I'm using these plant labels. This is the first time I've used them. I'm kind of curious. All right, all I do is just kind of make a spot and just put them in. I'm not going to bury mine really deep. Some of them I do, some I don't, because they have trichomes, and those are like hairs that turn into roots. But I've done it both ways, and there's really not a big difference. The only thing I notice, you have a stronger plant if you have a lot of wind for the roots. But these are staked to bamboo. Then, I'm going to have to go down further so you can see. All right, it's hard to see, but the good thing about bamboo, it has these nodes that you could, see how deep it is? You could tie off tight and then loosely tie the tomato plant. You want to tie it as it goes, not tight. This is tight. I did one here, and then I'll make a loose thing around a branch to hold it up. You won't see me, but this is it. Basically, we put them in, and I'm going to check to make sure that no pest affect it. And then in about a week, I'm going to show you how to start pruning the limbs from the bottom and everything else. But this is Sabrina from Campbell's Freedom Farm. Time to put your tomatoes in and think about a bamboo support for them. Have a great day.